My song of choice was My Weapon. I was actually a little nervous to do this one because for one, it's popular right now and Lola's killing it in the game. And it's a little wordy and a little breathy, but what I wanted to do was challenge myself. You know, I've come this far. I've sang a lot of songs that I knew I could sing well. All right, period. And so coming into lives, I wanted to really, really challenge myself and give myself a creative and give myself something to perform, something that was different, that was fun, that people love. And so that's how I kind of landed on Messy. I was ready to come in with the energy and give that like female rage. Like I really wanted to portray that. You know, I think every girl that's 20, 19, 18, floating around in that time really knows what that song feels like and knows how frustrating it can be to like not be perfect for somebody. So that's why I chose it.
I think, the song choice for tonight, my main goal when I stepped on that stage was I wanted America to feel something. And with a song like I Drive Your Truck, by Lee Brice, man, it's it's something that everybody's experienced. Everybody's felt that loss. Everybody has that thing that reminds them of that someone, whoever that may be. And getting the privilege to go out on the stage and perform that and give my emotional take on it after the events and everything, I think that was it was amazing. A lot of thought went into that song choice, and I tried to land on something that us as a nation can, or really as a world, can connect on. And I really hope that that came across in that performance tonight.
I chose mine. It was a weapon because it was emotional. Just like the rest of my songs, I used my emotion as a weapon because emotion is so important. Being vulnerable is important. The song is beautiful, 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 and it has a very deep message when you look into it. I really wanted to portray that tonight as best as I could, and I think I did that very wonderfully. Um, Cynthia Erivo and the whole Wicked movie soundtrack is they're outstanding. And I didn't want to obviously be just like her. I wanted to make it myself. I wanted to make it my personal. And I think I did that very well. I would have to say my playoff performance. My playoff performance was beautiful because that was the moment where that was actually the first time ever where I trusted myself, but like fully. That song was a tricky song. I sang SZA's Nobody Gets Me. Such a tricky song. That was the moment where I trusted myself. I trusted myself to deliver. I took a deep breath, turned off all the noise, and just performed. So I would have to say that my playoff performance was my best one this far.
Man, okay, real quick, I just want to say, and deliver, she did absolutely killed that SZA song. That was oof, oof.
Thank you,
But
Jaelen.
man, I would have to say my absolute favorite performance would have to be tonight's, and I say that only because um, getting to see glass cactuses was pretty sick. Okay, I've never seen that before, but that that's pretty awesome. I think I think this. Sorry, I don't know if that video cut out at all. I got a call.
You hear? It did.
Yeah, lost track. Oh, sorry. Yeah, no, I think tonight, man, it was the performance I was most present in. You know what I mean? I felt like I was there. I knew what I was doing every moment of it. I actually got to engage with the crowd and not black out for the first time. And I feel like, I felt every lyric of that song. And kind of like Alanna was saying, when she fully trusted herself on that song, this was a song I stressed out about for a while, figuring out A, how to not cry while singing it, and B, how to land the notes the way I wanted to. And I think tonight was really when everything came to fruition. I feel like this was the best performance I gave on the show so far.
I don't know. I think that my favorite performance that I've done so far would be Jolene, which was Knockouts. I really loved my knockout performance. It was beautiful. It was vulnerable. I cried a little bit. And I just love that song so much. But I think creatively, Tonight was my favorite. It was one of my favorite songs. It's one of my favorite songs outside of the show. So to be able to sing it for a live audience with the creative that I had, the staging that I had was immaculate. I think performance wise, I performed the best tonight. So yeah, I'm really, that would be my feedback. Those are my favorite little moments. The best words of advice that Kelsea gave to me is to trust myself, one, 2, that I'm worthy no matter what anybody else tells me, and 3, to really like cherish and celebrate my wins. I think as women, we like to downplay, and men too, but as women and artists, we like to kind of downplay our successes sometimes. I don't want to come off as too confident or too egotistical, but when you know that you've done so well, it's okay to acknowledge that, and it's okay to walk through that. And I think that that's one of the best pieces of advice that Kelsey's ever given me, for sure.
Man, I think the best bit of advice she gave me was not only be true to you as an artist and don't let anything change that. It was I actually it's really hard to narrow down, man. I think she said don't be afraid to pull back some of my voice in the beginning, but I think hands down the best thing she said was recently on this performance actually was she said it's because I'm making jokes with her talking about a lot of America doesn't like when I close my eyes, unfortunately. And I tend to feel things in that moment and just close my eyes and rip into it and just feel that the way I feel that. And the best thing that she said was she goes, take everything I told you about that and that you've heard about that and throw it out the window on this performance. And she goes, this is about you're dedicating this to your cousin. This is something that you truly do feel. So however you feel it, let that come across. And I think that was the best thing she said because I had a lot of things on my mind before this performance, and to be able to let loose tonight and just feel it out and feel how everything was supposed to go was amazing. And that's advice I will definitely be taking with me.
The best piece of advice that Kelsey gave me and that I will be taking with me everywhere is to not be afraid to be vulnerable in your music. And I'll keep it as simple as that because it is as simple as that. I don't know why it's so normalized nowadays to hold back your emotions when you're singing and performing. People are missing the real. And I think real music needs to make a comeback because we're real people. Everything's real. So that was the best piece of advice she gave me.
Alanna.
Everybody. We've like, especially this top 12, we are close. So we all have each other's social medias, numbers, all of that. We will absolutely be taking these relationships with us on for the rest of our lives. Like they're all invited to my wedding. Like it's just as simple as that.
This like makes me really emotional that like this is all coming to an end. I have created bonds with people that I have really prayed for and begged for throughout my life. And so to be able to have this space and to work with this many talented, creative, wonderful human beings has been the biggest blessing ever. And for a young girl starting off in music, was a really good first base and a really good start to my music journey, especially meeting everybody I met. It's just like Alanna said, y'all will be at my wedding singing, so be ready.
Man, to kind of piggyback off what they said, I mean, I don't think there's a day that we don't talk to one person or the entire group chat. It's been so amazing getting to know these people, and that's one of the first things I heard on the Zoom. I've been to I've worked in group settings my whole life, construction sites. I went to baseball camps back when I was playing sports, and they're like, "Oh, you're gonna make lifelong friends out here." And some people just did not dig some people, but that could not be more opposite to our group now because I heard, "Oh, you're gonna have friends for life," and I'm like, oh, "Okay, yeah, maybe." And I mean, now it was 110% the truth. I love each and every one of these people. They've definitely graduated from friends to family. So I could not be more blessed to meet them.
We've got their ways open, oh, and I got mine. A trivial